Hey everyone, I hope you guys are enjoying Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak and whichever platform you're choosing to play it on. And today we're going to be covering pretty much the last of the mines, aka leaks video for the 6/bonus free title update. This has been an ongoing series of videos that I've been trying to put together after the 5th free title update went live. A lot of people started to look into the mines, information started to pop up, and I certainly wanted to cover all of it. The first one covered pretty much every single one of the quests that we got as part of the 5th free title update. Then I covered pretty much the armor sets that we're going to get for the 5th free title update. And now regarding the 6th free title update, the information that became all available after that patch went live, I believe it's 15.00 on the Nintendo Switch and PC Steam. We now have all the information regarding, of course, Primordial Malzeno, which is of course the next monster that will be fully featured in the bonus/6 free title update. Also the armor sets, some information regarding some of the quests, some information regarding like how many new hazard quests there's actually going to be, new decos, a bunch of stuff. So I apologize if this video took a little bit longer than I usually do, but I certainly try to be as accurate as possible and make sure that I cover everything right. I don't want to give like half information out there and then people come at me and they say that I'm wrong or whatever, making stuff up. That's not really what I try to do. And like I always tell you guys, whenever I'm talking about mines, I'm not going to be overlaying any of the information, of course, on the screen to avoid Capcom coming after me. But if you do want to find some of the stuff here, of course, check out the subreddits. And if you know where to look, you should be able to see all of the screenshots and stuff that has been found so far. I might just be overlaying like monster icons or pictures or whatever, but that's about it. So pretty much everything is just going to be me talking, going over everything that I've actually jotted down and written up. All right, so with all that table setting out of the way, first and foremost, what we're getting as part of the bonus/6th free title update is only Primordial Malzeno. That is essentially the confirmed name of this new blue Malzeno. That is what we're looking at here. This is not going to be a Risen. This is not going to be an anomaly investigation Malzeno. This is essentially a variant, a brand new monster according to Capcom's in their eye. I always use the same example. Think of like Scorn Magnamalo. That is a variant of Magnamalo. It does have ties to the lore. We don't necessarily know what they're going to be as of right now, but that is what we're looking at here. That is the only monster that's going to be added as part of this bonus/6 free title update for the Nintendo Switch and PC Steam. I did make a separate video just a few days ago, maybe about a week ago by now, where I spoke about regarding the PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Series S, and PC Windows. 4th, 5th, and 6th free title update will all be dropping at the same time, roughly around maybe late June, early July. That is what we're looking at here. That's the time frame. They said somewhere around the summer. We expect it to be early summer, so that is what we're looking at. So the 6th free title update, bonus update, has to drop on PC, Steam, and Nintendo Switch before it drops on PlayStation and Xbox and PC Windows, but that is the time frame that we're working with. So those PlayStation, Xbox, and PC Windows players who are looking forward to all of this stuff, you should be about a couple of months away from, getting your hands on this, kind of like how we are. So this Primordial Malzeno, of course, is going to come with his very own armor set. That's not much of a surprise. It's going to come with his very own unique skill as well. Not much of a surprise. Brand new weapons will also be included with this brand new Primordial Malzeno. There is expected to be a twist, kind of like the Frostcraft Volcana situation. Maybe the weapons will have some sort of unique skill, stuff like that tied to it. That's wonky still. We don't necessarily know. There's also going to be new decorations specifically crafted from the Primordial Malzeno parts. So we can expect to look forward to a couple of really powerful decos. Most likely the ones that Capcom already teased. I made a separate video on that a few, maybe weeks ago by now. Link in the description below if you need that. So chances are those decos are going to need Primordial Malzeno parts. And we already know that they're like plus attack and stuff like that. So plus spare shot and stuff like that. So we're looking at some pretty good things there. I believe they're all like 4 deco slots decorations. So, pretty high-end stuff. Now, he's also going to be part of a couple of quests, not just necessarily the main quest where he's going to be featured. We're going to be talking about that in a little bit, since we actually have dialogue sequences and the quest descriptions as well, which is really cool. Now, another thing that we do know is that Primordial Malzeno will be part of investigations. We know that investigations as of right now are not changing, so maybe it will be part of A9 or maybe it'll be A10 on its very own. We don't necessarily know how they're going to classify it as of basically right now. We also don't expect like anomaly investigation levels to go up after 300. We expect them to stay the same. A lot of people have suggested maybe 999 could be unlocked, but it doesn't necessarily look that way right now. Of course, that can change, but as of right now, that's not really showing up. Also, for clarification's sake, there will be some event quests that will be featuring Primordial Malzeno later on as post-launch updates for the 6/bonus updates. So probably keep your eyes peeled for that. Now, as far as the quest that we know that is going to be a part of, most likely the first one is called Harbinger of Destruction. There's a description for the quest from Admiral Gallius, where it says that Primordial Malzeno is attacking the kingdom. Records state that it's here to bring judgment and destruction. The matter is even more dire than Archdemon of the Abyss. Please, we need you to save the kingdom. So essentially, you're slaying Malzeno. This as Primordial Malzeno. This will be most likely the very first one. After you take it down and you do a couple of more quests, Bahari will step in with a brand new request. This one is called Legend of Resurrected. It says Primordial Malzeno just appeared out of nowhere and it's extremely dangerous, so we have no choice but to slay it. I'm sure you'll be fine, but don't get cocky. Make sure you make all the preparations are in order before you head out. So essentially, you're being asked to take care of it a second time. Now, all of these quests will be most likely part of the update once it goes live. But this is the kicker. The last quest that you get with Primordial Malzeno, before we start talking about event quests, which we will be talking about that a little bit later, is Hazard Primordial Pest. So essentially, Primordial Malzeno gets his very own Hazard quest. This one simply says that Malzeno's variant has reared its ugly mug. Again, this one is from Bahari. It says some reports are saying that it's behaving differently than before. The details aren't clear, but what is clear is that this thing is going to be a lot more tougher this time around. Stay on your guard and good luck. So slay Primordial Malzeno. So pretty much Hazard Primordial Malzeno will be available on most likely day one if you're putting the grind, and you're going to be able to fight the normal version as well. So Hazard quests are going to be a big part of the bonus update. That is something that they're going to start leaning on a lot. We're going to be talking about those in a second, but it's really interesting to see them introduce the monster and pretty much instantly give it its very own Hazard quest. Now, at the same time, there's been a lot of discussion regarding its entire moveset and the shifts. If you watched the last video heading into the 5th free title update, when we're talking about maybe this potential new Malzeno, we didn't have the name of it or anything like that at the time. We expected it to maybe have different forms, different stances, something along those lines. There is a little bit more clarification there, but the information is really wonky still. Some people have suggested maybe it has a Curios mode where it calls in the Curios to kind of buff them. Maybe it has a full powered on mode where it kind of just goes all out, so you need to be ready, like an enraged mode kind of a thing. Another people have suggested maybe it has a flying mode, so it just stays in the air a little bit longer, aka kind of like Rathalos type of a thing. These are all tied to the moves. There's somewhere around 15 to 16 different moves that have been tallied up all together for this specific new monster. So at the end of the day, we don't necessarily know what the stances are going to be, what these new changes are going to be, but pretty much expect a lot of crazy stuff when you're doing this fight. It's going to be the if you thought Amatsu was pretty much like the peak of the game, get ready for this thing because it's going to be a pain in the ass. Now, there's a couple of adjacent information regarding Primordial Malzeno I also want to cover, but it now begins to talk about the fact that there are no more risen or new afflicted monsters being added in at all. That's not what we're looking at here at all. That's just not going to change. So every monster that is already available has a risen, has a elder, has a anomaly investigation version of itself, anything like that. Those are all staying the same. This also means that, of course, we have talked about like Apex monsters maybe getting their own quest. That doesn't necessarily seem to be the case. Apex monsters maybe getting their own risen or anomaly investigation version. That doesn't necessarily seem to be the case. Another one of the things that we spoke about is maybe Volcana getting his own risen, anomaly investigation. Not happening. It doesn't necessarily seem to be the case. Originally, when the 5th free title update dropped, we pretty much noticed that all the afflicted Volcana attacks were like removed, and that is just like Volcana is no longer, you know, part of anything. So it's just going to be its very own independent thing. Out of all the elders, is going to be, I believe, the only one that's not going to be, you know, risen for whatever reason. And also we are seeing that Volcana will have a brand new turf war. Now, originally it was suggested that maybe, of course, it's going to have a turf war where it takes on Primordial Malzeno, you know, kind of like out in the field. But a couple of other people ended up suggesting that it's actually going to be one of those kind of like Amatsu, Apex, and Ogre type of situations where perhaps maybe the first time you're fighting Primordial Malzeno, you'll actually end up crossing paths with Volcana because it's actually directly referenced in one of the quests. And essentially you're looking at a situation where Volcana is going to be, you know, having a turf war with this Primordial Malzeno, kind of like maybe the first time. Again, kind of like Apex and Ogre and Amatsu. But then if you decide to do Amatsu a second time, you actually end up getting Crimson Glow Valstrax fighting Amatsu. So most likely another monster will step in, maybe a Magnamalo or a Scorn Magnamalo or something, and it will end up turf warring with Primordial Malzeno. But the very first time, chances are, is just going to be a Volcana fight with it. So that is what we're looking at here. A couple of side things as well is that Frenzied Bloodlust will be added in the augmentation pool. That's pretty much one of the skills that we have been expecting. Heaven Sent, and this is the Amatsu unique skill, will be a Curio Talisman exclusive. So if you're using those new charm, like melding options or whatever, chances are Heaven Sent from Amatsu is going to become one of those talisman skills that you're going to be able to craft regarding that. Of course, Primordial Malzeno's new unique skill is probably going to end up staying on its own with the armor set, so the game will close out with that skill being the only one uniquely tied to the armor set, whereas every other one has either become a deco, either a talisman, or a curious crafting option. So that's pretty much like have they divided all the skills so far, and essentially what we're looking at, this Primordial Malzeno skill most likely end up being the only one that doesn't really have that option. It will be specifically tied to the armor set for this new monster. Now, since this video dragged on enough as it is, I'm going to try to talk about the brand new batch of hazard quests that are going to be part of the 6th free title update in a separate video. I don't like to make videos that are like 15 to 20 minutes long because they just basically drag on too much. People tap out halfway through. They don't really get the full information. So I'm going to make a separate video on that. So I guess this series will be expanding to one more video for full-on Datamine leaks videos where I discuss everything regarding the 6th free title update. So check out the next video. Hopefully should be up within the next 24 hours or so, as I'm going to be talking about all of the new hazard quests that are going to be available, at the very least most of the ones that we know of as part of the 6th free title update or the bonus update. If you're brand new to my channel though, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.